minutes to go.
Exciting times.
We're live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Utrecht, the Netherlands. My name is Matt Gallis, and with me is Cor Kronenberg. This is the live stream for the Dutch Lions Cup 2017 finals. So this is the second year of this relatively new event, which has turned out to have really good attendance, and with fencers coming from quite a few countries. Last year, Federico Dall'Olio won the gold medal match versus Michel Rensen. Sarah Virtanen won gold against Michaela Dorlando in the women's longsword. The technical prize last year was won by Jan Chris Pluggemarts. So you are joining us in the semifinals of this longsword tournament. So now I'm going to pass it over to Cor Kronenberg, who will walk you through who's going to be fighting this evening.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Matt. We're going to start out with the semi-finals. We had a whole busy day with the pools and the eliminations, and this brought us up to here, the semi-finals. So the first semi-finals is of the women's longsword tournament. In the blue corner we have Carla Huverman from Grünweiß Holten from Germany, and she's going to be fighting in the red corner Diana Mattes from Griffon, also Germany. So I'm going to sign the referee that he can start.
Go.
First fighters, Carla in blue, Diana in red. Fighters, please salute. Judges ready.
So Carla Huverman is blue, and red is Diana Mattes, both from Germany. Carla in Fontag, initial testing below. Diana down in a flug, point raised. We have it fair. Looks like it's scored.
Judges. 1 point red.
1 point red.
So that's the first point for Diana Mattes.
Right, so that was a blow to the arm. Blows to the arms and the legs are 1 point.
Again, testing the distance. Working from the bind, nice Zwaard.
Judges. 2 points red, 2 points blue.
2 points blue.
And Carla Huverman counters with a strike to the head. That's 2 points blue.
So both in flug now, testing distance. A little slight thrust there.
And a nice strike to the hand from Carla. Let's see what the judges saw.
Cut to the right and a left Oberhau around to the left, landing on the right arm of Diana Mattes.
Oh, nice opening strike from Diana.
Right, it was a thrust. It looked like it was parried by Huverman, and then a Vinden over the top of the back edge to the head.
Very well
2
done.
points for Carla Huverman.
Oh!
So that was a thrust from Carla Huverman. It looked like Diana Mattes moved out of distance.
1
And
point
then
red, after below for blue, 0 points red.
so the thrust landed, but it was negated by the afterblow by Mattes.
Again, the changing from flug to Fontag to test the distance.
A little bit of blade contact.
Yeah. Oh, so the Zwaard. Something landed there.
I think that was a arm cut.
1 point red.
Yeah, an arm cut from Mattes. It was a right Oberhau that looks like it landed on the inside of Huverman's right arm. Schrankhut by Huverman. Looked like she was going for a crump, but as she was coming up, Mattes looks like she landed a blow on the arm.
Yeah, right Oberhau from.
Right Oberhau to the arm by Mattes. Both in flug again. Huverman up into Fontag. Bind, and then it's fair.
Nice. Ooh.
Cut and a miss by Mattes. Looked like
nice
there was
overhead schnit or cut from Mattes.
Unclear exchange.
Unclear. Oh, too bad.
Oh, Yes, it was a sphere, a bind, and then a cut around with an Oberhau, vertical Oberhau to the head by Hooverman. Nice clean cut.
Clear 2 points.
Fighters, please salute.
And that is our bout.
Yeah, it was time. 3 minutes.
3 for red, 7 for blue.
So 7-3, Carlo Hooverman, Greenhouse Fortune, Wales and Adrian Matis of Clifton, both of Germany.
So this means that Carla goes to the gold finals and Diana Mates can fight for the bronze.
So who do we have next, Cor?
Fighting for blue, Michael Rutzmann. Fighting for red, Runa Magnussen.
Like already announced, Michael Rosma from Mars in Groningen, Noord-Holland, fighting against Runa Magnussen from Zwaard&Steen.
Both from the Netherlands.
Both from Netherlands, yes.
Table, ready. Fence.
Either way, the finals is going to be Germany-Dutch, yeah.
Judges,
So Michael was testing the distance.
2 points red.
And Runa counters. Very nice.
So both in from Tog, moving in,
Swing and a
thrust
miss.
and a miss,
From the bind.
cut
from the glove.
around,
Come on, both hands.
Oh.
both wind up. Looks like some back edges coming down, but I'm not sure anything hit. I think they saw it as a double hit, probably by those back edges coming down from that wind up. Runa and Talber coming up with a thrust.
Going to a high hang-on. Trying to hit the head.
Judges,
And that looks like that was a thrust that hit.
unclear exchange.
No, unclear. Judges unable to agree on the outcome. Both in from Tog. And it looked like that was a cut that landed on the arms by Mikan.
Double hit, no points.
No,
Again, second double hit.
Fence.
Oh,
very
Winterhau
nice.
from the right
From Mikan.
by Mikan, hitting on the arms
1
Both
point
women
red.
very eager
of
to
Runa, so
get
that'd
into
be
the
1
conflict.
point. Yeah, that's good. So
Right.
Nice cover in a high hang-on from Runa. Was it enough?
I think it was a sphere that was cut into. But
Unclear exchange.
the judges seem to be a little unclear as well.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Nice hit on the head from
Okay,
Runa.
there was an attempt at a sphere by Mikan, slightly out of difference, and then a blow to the head by Runa.
This could be a nice knockslag.
Fence.
Yep.
Right.
Oh,
Okay, that looked like that was a right Oberhau to the
to the
hands by Mikan.
Judges,
I think it was the head.
Yeah.
No.
1 point blue. 1 point blue.
Right.
1 point for Mikan.
Fence.
I think it hit her hands as she came in raised, with her hands raised. Oh, we've got a grappling situation.
Oh, very nice action.
Nice by Runa Magnussen.
And the judges,
2 points for red. Nice,
Exchange.
nice exchange.
last exchange.
Both in from Todd. Looks like a double sphere.
To the underarms from Runa.
Double hit.
Third
No
double hit.
points. Double hit. It ends the match in favor of red. Red.
So, Runa Magnussen wins.
6-2 wins for Mikan. That means that Runa is going to be fighting in the finals against Carla Hooverman. And Dianatis and Mikan Roelsema will meet in the bronze finals.
So we have a Germany Netherlands showdown in the women's longsword championship.
So now we're going to go to the semi-finals of the Open longsword tournament. And I think we have...
Yeah, their first fight is Michelle Rensen of Zwaard&Steen from the Netherlands.
Semi-finals. Fighting in the blue corner, Michelle Rensen. And in the red corner, Thomas Koeplier.
So, the whole corner is Michelle Rensen of Zwaard&Steen, Netherlands, who will drop Thomas Koeplier.
Yes, from
From France.
Les Aldersams Escrime Etienne from France. Actually, there's a lot of people coming from this
Yeah,
school.
there's actually quite a good contingent from
French
France.
delegation, yeah.
Now, Michel Wilson was the silver medal winner from last year.
And not only on Dutch Lions Cup, but also on Swordfish.
Right, and the interesting thing is, both at Dutch Lions Cup and Swordfish, both of those longsword tournaments ended up being Michel Renson against Federico Dall'Olio of Italy. We could have that matchup again. All right. Michel is known for his left sphere, so watch for that. Oh.
I think if I see correctly, Thomas is fighting left-handed.
Yes, he is, actually. Okay, so it looked like there was Michel put his hands out there a little early and got tagged on the hands by Thomas.
Oh!
So that was a left sphere followed by a right sphere by Michel Renson that hit on the side of Thomas'
Michel Renson.
head.
That gives him 2 points.
So Michel is king of the sphere. You see him do his signature. He comes in right ox, often fights out of that. It looked like Thomas got a blow to the arm, perhaps.
And then an after blow from,
So, blow and after blow. Those are negated. So, that was
Michel trying to take the Nachschlag, but Thomas was too quick.
I think that was a Nachreisen. It looked like a Nachreisen to me. It was a cut past by Thomas, and Michel hit him on very lightly on the hands. Cut parried by Michel. Feint.
And to the head as well. So let's see the judges.
And a couple of Zwaard by Michel Renson.
Yeah.
One of which landed. So Michel Renson, 2 points there for that Zwaard to the head. A little bit of circling now. Michel Renson and Zwaard. Right Zwaard looked like it landed on that arm, that left arm of Couturier. So we are now at 5-1 in favor of Michel Renson. Nice exchange.
Nice parry from Thomas. Tries to get something back.
Several Zwaard, all parried by Couturier, but then a Zwaard to the left side of Couturier, and then an after blow by Couturier.
2 hits on the head, right-left combination from Michel again.
Yes.
Unclear exchange.
All right, the judges unable to agree. That one gets thrown out. Von Tag versus sort of an Alber.
Left hand leading.
Yeah, it looked like that might have been an arm cut by Thomas.
1 point break, after blow for blue, 0 points break.
Right.
The after blow for blue.
Blow to the arm followed by after blow by Renson, negating the exchange. That was a pretty clear cut to the right arm by Couturier. These lefties, you know, you always have to worry about the outside of your right arm as you come in, because they'll tag the outside of the arm. And our score is 5-1. So pretty convincing victory. So Renson will be fighting for first place.
Yes. Now the second semi-final is fought between a French guy again, Thomas Lobo from.
Fighting in the blue corner, Thomas Lobo. Fighting in the red corner, Federico Dall'Olio.
So Thomas Lobo from Aura Combat Historique from France in blue, fighting Federico Dall'Olio
from Italy.
Sala d'Arma del Apeso.
Federico has had a very good year this past year. Took gold here last year. Took gold at the Open Longsword in Swordfish this year. He's also won some Italian tournaments as well. So he's really had quite the year.
Also today he has shown he's been in very good form.
Yes.
It's a quick exchange of blows. Some nice Zwaard to the lower blows. And Federico takes the first point.
All right.
Judges. 1 point blue, after blow for red, 0 points blue. 0 points. Thanks.
So Lobo, very active, moving from side to side. likes to fight from that left shoulder, which is kind of interesting.
No points.
Double hit.
Fence.
Federico typically has a very good defense. Oh, looked like he had a good thrust in there on Lobo's advance. The judges seem a bit confused.
Unclear exchange.
Now, judges cannot agree.
Fence.
These two are moving very quickly. It's hard for the judges to keep track.
Oh.
That was a cut to the leg. It looked like an after blow with a thrust to the chest by Lobo.
0 points red.
So that negates.
Fence.
Lobo fighting from... Oh,
Got stabbed in the face by Federico.
right, which
And
is
tried to cut
parried
round.
and a cut around by
No
Lobo.
points.
Seen as a double hit.
Fence.
There's a cut to the arm by Federico Dall'Olio. Looked like it hit on the hands.
1 point red.
1 point red.
That's the second point for Federico.
So 2-0 Dall'Olio. Lobo comes running in. Looks like there's a bind and then dropping the back edge on the neck
2 points
by
red.
Lobo.
Seems to score.
So he scores for 2 points. So now we're tied.
And a timeout
2-2.
for some equipment for Thomas Lobo. Gives Federico some time to confer with his coach, Mark Wilkie.
And Lobo being coached by Maurice Bruno from the same club, I believe. Both in plug, a cut, parry. Quite an exchange there.
Judges. Unclear exchange.
Right, it looked like an overhaul parried, overhaul by Lobo parried. It's fair by Dall'Olio parried. Frankly, I thought I saw a blow after that by Lobo that landed, but the judges were unable to decide on that. And there may have been an afterblow in there by
Could be,
Dall'Olio. I would tend to think that's the case.
So it does nothing for the score. It still stands to...
But we'll see what the judges say.
We have a judges conference at the moment, which means that...
Now, it's been a long day. It is 8:34 here in the Netherlands, and we've been going since 9 in the morning with very few breaks. So this judging staff has been on their feet all
Yes.
day and
Almost
have
12
been
hours.
doing yeoman's work.
Yes.
So after a full day of work, it can get a little tiring. But these judges have had about an hour's break for dinner, so hopefully they're a little freshened by that.
Energetic. We actually saved these judges from the elimination rounds so that they can have a little bit more break, logistically speaking. So they could be fresh for the finals.
Judges conferring. So there was a protest.
And the referee, Gerald Nieborg, explains the conclusion of the judges. The protest was overturned, so not acknowledged. Score still stands.
So score is 2-2. This is the final exchange. So a lot of pressure riding on this. Fighters circling each other in flug. Lobo sometimes pulling back into that left Fontag he likes. It looked like a left overhaul by Lobo, which may have landed.
2 points red. After blow for blue. 0 points.
Blow and after blow.
This means 0 points. It
0
would end in
points.
a draw. Thomas Lobo still has his protest, so he can confer with the referee.
In this case, you're not going to have a draw in your semifinals, right? I mean,
No, we have to go to sudden death.
You will
Yeah.
go to sudden death.
Yeah. No, we have to determine who's fighting for gold.
Right, for sure. So the two circled in flug. Lobo pulled to his left shoulder, paused a moment, and then cut a left overhaul which
We have a second judges conference.
may have been parried or may have landed. I think the judges had some trouble deciding on that.
Again, like you said, the judges have been on their feet for almost 12 hours, scoring and judging this tournament, as well as the table crew and the referees.
And there's some good and there's some bad to that. On the one hand, you get tired. It's grueling work coming to this and standing on your feet and having to make decisions very quickly under a lot of stress with a lot of people watching. That's stressful work. On the other hand, you kind of get into a groove. You know, you do it for a while as a ref, and you and your team kind of get into a groove, and you sort of find a place with your judging team. So protest denied.
Protest denied. That will mean that the score still stands. So it's a draw, 2-2, and it's called a sudden death now.
Right. That was the last exchange technically, but since it was a draw, they have to continue. So sudden death it is. So Lobo on that left shoulder, right shoulder, going back and forth. Dalolio
false edge
in left flip. That was an Oberhau that was parried, and it looked like it was a back edge by Dalolio. We'll see what the judges say. Yes, I think so. 2 points red.
So,
Over 13, we will see the matchup for gold between Federico Dalolio and Michel Wilson. So, twice they have fought. Twice it's been a very close fight. And twice Federico has won. So we'll see if the third time is the charm, and maybe Michel Renson can pull it out.
I'm of course a little bit biased, as Michel is one of my students and one of my students.
Now the interesting thing is these guys both are masters of the Zwaard. They both have really, really good Zwaard, but the interesting thing is Michel tends to use it offensively. He'll come in right ox, he'll do a feint, and then he'll bring the 1 or 2 or 3 Zwaard in with a multiple attack. Whereas Dalolio will come in and he will parry in a throw grip, and then he will riposte. So he uses the Zwaard defensively. It'll be interesting. His approach has won
interesting match
twice before, and we'll see if it wins a third time.
So we're going to go to the bronze finals now for the ladies longsword tournament. Diana Mattes from Griffon, Germany is going to fight Maiken Roelfsma from Mars in Groningen, the Netherlands. Both have their coaches ready as well. So let's see who takes
Martin Kamphuis is
coaching Diana Mattes.
Yes. We're going to salute.
Are we on again? Are we live again? Yes, we're live again.
So the fighters salute, and now they close in. They touch blades. Diana Mattes of Germany, Maiken Roelfsma of the Netherlands. So some probe cuts, a little bit of a
Binding and winding.
bind and wind,
The sword. Striking with the false edge.
and it looks,
First point is for Maiken.
yeah, looks like it was a blow to the arm from the bind by Maiken. So that was an Unterhau by Maiken to the hands. We'll see if that afterblow landed in time. Unclear exchange. I think that was a blow to the hands and another after blow that landed on the arms. So the blow, the Unterhau, full light by Mike and Rosema, and an after blow by Rune Magnussen. Or sorry, not Rune Magnussen, Diana Mattes.
Judges. 1 point blue.
1 point blue.
Thanks.
So
See what happens in the exchange. Nice high cover from Diana Mattes. And there's a break.
So our score at this point,
1 point blue.
1 point blue.
Second point for blue.
Thanks.
right, third point. So we're at 3-0. We've had essentially, wow!
Oh, nice step.
So there was a nice high thrust
Judges.
by Diana Mattes of Germany. Yep, that was a high ox thrust. It looks like it landed in the upper chest. So we're now at 3-2. Another attempt to do the same thing. It looked like it may have landed by Mattes, another ox thrust.
And it has
And
landed.
it did land. And that totally turned the game around. It was 3-0. Now it's 4-3 in favor of Diana Mattes. Okay, that looked to me like it was a blow and after blow. Unterhau.
Unterhau to the arms and then a
Yeah, and then an after blow to the head.
1 point blue. After blow red. 0 points blue.
Right? Blow and after blow, that negates the points. Fighters close in. Oh, nice, nice,
good cover
nice.
from Mike and afterwards.
Left overhand by Michael and parry. Nice way to parry the after blow, which was a left overhand by
So it's
Mattes.
4-4. We have a draw now.
Unterhand that misses.
And a strike to
Goes
the
into a blade. It looks like there was a schnit maybe to the head or the neck by Maiken. But the judges are confused. Last exchange between the two. Looks like a Zwaard by both sides. Maybe there's a
1 point red.
1 point red.
1 point for red. So Diana Mattes in that exchange, I guess she hit.
So she
The back
recovered
cut a snare, and she hit to the arms. So, and there you have it. 5-4. Diana Mattes of Kriffen, Germany, beating Maiken Rofsema of the Netherlands.
And Diana recovered from a 3 points.
She was 3-0 at the beginning of that, and she turned that around. That's pretty impressive.
2 stabs to the head. It's quite innovative.
So that's the thing with weighted scoring, right? You can have, you had 3 blows in a row by Maiken that hit on the hands and arms, so it's 1, 2, 3, but all it took was 2 thrusts, weighted at 2 points each to turn that around.
Blue corner. Thomas Lobo. In the red corner. Thomas Coutier.
So it's the bronze finals for the Open Winter Tournament.
2 Frenchmen fighting. So it's Coutier versus Lobo, both of them in the tennis.
So the crowd is, of course, cheering for Thomas.
So Thomas will win.
I think so. But let's see what happens. Couturier makes a cross on his chest.
Yeah, Couturier made the sign of the cross. That's an interesting thing because that's something that's pretty well documented actually in period sources, and there are plenty of both French and German sources that talk about people crossing themselves before they stepped into the ring for a judicial duel.
And kissing the shield of the sword as well.
That's true.
But that's a little bit difficult with a fencing mask on, of course.
Right.
Fighters, please salute.
Fighters salute.
Judge ready. Table ready. Fence.
So they touch swords, sign of respect, back up into Flug, closing in. Looks like a quick blow to the arm by
Thomas Couturier.
Couturier, who is left-handed. And I think it probably landed on the outside of the arm. I couldn't really see the judges in my way.
Judges.
I have a...
1 point red.
1 point red.
Fence.
So it looked like another arm ball by Couturier. Another one. Another 3 blows in a row to the arm by Couturier, and he parries the after blow. This is the thing about these lefties, you know, you have to worry about the outside of that right arm. Couturier tries it again and catches him, same thing on the way in. Yep. So we're up to 4 points for Couturier, all by arm hits. So, but that Lobo turns it around, manages to close the distance without getting hand sniped, and struck it out.
Oh, sliding from Thomas Lobo.
It's like another head hit
So that's 2
by
points.
Lobo.
Makes it a draw, 4-4. Very quick exchanges.
Could not see that exchange. Had a referee in my way.
Same here.
Unclear exchange. Unclear exchange.
Unclear exchange. Fencers move in again. Couturier takes another arm hit.
And he strikes down, tries to hit the hand and lands on the leg.
And parries that.
1 point red.
Right, so another point for Couturier. So 5-4. All his. Oh, looks like he did it again. He's very good at sniping the outside of that right wrist as he comes in, and then parrying that after blow. So Couturier has done that 6 times in a row,
And it's the last exchange.
and it's
now.
working.
4-6.
So
So Thomas Lobo needs a 2-point hit.
Yeah, he needs to get into that deep
to get a
target
draw.
and get
Yeah.
2 points, and then he can go into sudden death. That's his only hope.
Yep.
So he needs to be very aggressive, but he also needs to
Very careful.
cover
Not
that.
put his hands
He
in the way
needs
again.
to cover that. He really should be changing guard, frankly. A hanging guard. I think maybe something like Hangedort, you know, that with the point slightly hanging off to your right side would cover that opening nicely. But the problem here is that Lobo is not learning the mistake. He has been hit 6 times on the outside of that arm. So he needs to do something different. Likewise, Couturier does what every good fighter does. If it all works, don't fix it. If it works, you do it over and over and over again until the other side figures it out. So, good, smart, well generalship by Couturier. His tactical sense has served him well. This is something Lobo needs to go back and ponder, meditate upon back in France.
Let's continue. Final exchange. Final exchange.
So it's the final exchange with 4-6.
All right, Lobo needs to get on there. A deep target, but guard on his wrist.
Couturier
I don't think that-
is ready. Oh!
And it was the same thing, looked like to me.
No, he was on the other side with the blade. And it's
Yep.
1 point for red.
It looked like it was the same thing to me. So 7 times in a row, Couturier manages to get an arm hit. So there you have it.
And therefore taking home the bronze.
Right. So France takes home the bronze.
We will now continue with the ladies' finals of the Dutch Lion Cup 2007.
So now to the ladies' finals. We have Carla Huberman
will exist on 2 rounds.
of Koolhaas-Houten,
In the blue
Germany,
corner, from
and Laura Willison of the Netherlands. Now there are 2 rounds, each of
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So this is going to be a longer fight.
From the Netherlands, Runa
It's either the places or 2 exchanges per round.
So the whole crowd are cheering loudly for the Dutch champion.
Well, it is Germany and Netherlands all
Yes,
over
it
again.
is.
So
It is. So actually, Carla Huberman, if I'm recalling correctly, she won the women's longsword tournament at Swordfish 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yep.
So she's an experienced competitor, so it's no surprise to see her here in the final bout.
I think last year at Swordfish she also took home a medal.
Right. So here we go. Carla Huberman, Runa Magnuson closing in.
Oh, Runa goes into the grappling.
So it looked like
towards
it's
the head.
fair. There was a bind, and really leveling with her left hand, trying to grapple, and landing a head blow, I believe, with the one hand.
And it gave her 2 points.
2
So
points.
First
So
2 points are in.
2-0. It's fair.
Double threat combination.
It
Try
looked
to
like
get
it's
the left
fair, and then
overhowl.
cut around, probably a cut to the arm, maybe, by Hooverman.
Yep.
Yes. Moving around by Hooverman. I think it was it's fair, and then cut around with a left overhowl. Oh, that looked like pretty clear blow to the Unterhowl to Runa Magnussen's arm, left arm. So it was a right Unterhowl by Carla Hooverman. But there was an after blow by Magnussen, which negates it. So we're 2-1. So that looked like a blow to the arm
of short
by
strikes.
Magnussen.
1 point red.
So Runa has a lead at 4-1.
No.
Sorry, 3-1.
3-1.
Judges. 1 point red.
So a long exchange with an arm cut, ultimately by Hooverman, 3-2. Sverre, it looked to me it was a Sverre followed by a vertical overhowl that landed on Magnussen's head, but a double hit. There was either a thrust or a cut underneath by Magnussen. Oh, beautiful cut to the arm by Hooverman.
Runa Magnusson stopped her strike midair, and Hooverman took the advantage of the opening.
Right, and it looked like she parried that after blow. So we are now tied at 3-3.
In the first round. Oh, very nice Zwaard from Runa Magnusson.
2 points red.
Yeah, it looked like it was an attempt to move off to the side by Hooverman. It didn't quite work, but ended up as a Sverre to the head, right Sverre to the head by Magnussen. I think that maybe we have a protest.
Could be.
Looks like we have a protest. The judges are convening to discuss.
First, the referee hears both parties to ask what their opinion was. Not only the protester, but also the other party.
So one party protests, they ask the opinion of the other party, then the judges confer. They take both the parties' opinions, and then they discuss. The protest was denied.
So it was a strike with the flat from Carla.
So it is 5-3 in favor of Magnussen. That looked like
Very nice strikes and parry
a
combination.
cut and a parry and a blow with the back edge by Hooverman. It looked like it landed on the arm.
Gives her 1 point. So
Right.
4-5 the last exchange. So we go into the first break. High again, going to the combination.
So it looked like it was an arm cut by Magnussen. It looked like it was at Sverre and at the head, but Hooverman's arms went up. I think she caught her underneath the arms. No?
Did she though? Because Hooverman
1 point blue.
gets 1 point for her action. That means we go into the first break 5-5.
Right.
After this 1 minute break.
So very even fight going back and forth. And
I always like the style of Runa. She's a very eager fighter. She wants to go in for the wrestle,
Yeah,
and
she
she wants
is.
to
She
really take the advantage in the four.
yeah, and Carla is, Carla Hooverman is coming in. At the beginning, she kept doing a right Sverre. That wasn't really working so much for her. She was getting hit on the arms. It looks like she came in with an overhowl and then got the bind, and then was stepping to the side with the left overhowl and was having more luck with that, and managed to bring the score back up.
But there's one time when Carla tried to step off the side, but Runa wasn't fooled by that.
That's true. That's true. And actually, Hooverman walked right into it, Sverre to the head.
Yeah. So break is over. Both ladies get ready again.
Fighters, ready?
And we're going to the second 3-minute round.
All right. So Hooverman and Flug. Oh, and lands a left overhaul. Looked like it was to the arm.
Yep.
of Magnuson.
1 point play.
Yes.
Yes, that's 1 point for Hooverman.
So 6-5 in favor of Germany.
Red. Judges.
But Bruno Magnusson recovers with the strike to the head. Gets 2 points.
So 7-5 in favor of Magnuson now. A Zwaard and an Oberhau.
Judges.
I think
1 point red.
And again, 1 point. That makes it 8-6 at the moment for Bruno Magnusson.
Magnuson ahead by 2 points.
Oh!
It looked like it was a thrust that missed by Hooverman,
Yep.
and then a Zwaard that landed by
1 point red.
Magnuson
Magnuson.
and landed on the
I think
arm.
Magnusson is getting the taste of victory
So
now.
9-6 in favor of Bruno Magnuson.
Oh! Strikes out his hands for Carla.
Left Oberhau by Karl Hooverman.
1 point play.
Right. Bringing it up to 7-9. Magnuson still in the lead.
Yeah, but she got hit in the head by
Yeah.
that Zwaard from the right side from Carla.
1
Or-
point play.
Or to the side.
All right, so we are at 8-9. Very close fight here. Rune Magnuson just 1 point ahead.
And strikes Carla.
Judges.
Judges see.
1 point red.
1 point for red.
Red.
For Magnuson,
10-8.
10-8.
Nice cover from Bruna, yes, and a nice undercut to the arms.
Right. So high hanger, and then an Unterhau, right Unterhau.
1 point red.
Landed on the arm. So
That's
one
the
more
point.
point for Rune Magnuson, making it 11-8.
Oh! Bruna tried to go in again from above.
Yep.
Carla wasn't
Too
in
long.
point. Yeah.
1 point play.
Hooverman stepped to the left with the right Unterhau, hitting to the arms.
Let's see what this leads.
And
Tries to go recover with the sword
offside by
by Carla.
Hooverman.
See where it leads.
And
Still interesting.
puts her in there, ends up in a position of dominance. Very nice. 1 point blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the winner.
11-10. Very close match. With Rune Magnuson winning the gold and Karl Hooverman of Germany getting silver.
Taking home the silver. Well, I'm not supposed to be biased, but as a Dutch guy, I like this result.
Home team advantage.
We will now continue with the
I'm not. It's here again.
Once again, Michel Rensen versus Federico Bergoglio.
blue corner.
Netherlands versus Italy.
Mr. Hansen.
For the third time in the past year, Federico Bergoglio winning twice narrowly over Michel Rensen.
In the red corner from Italy, Federico Bergoglio.
Both racers very expert with the use of the two-hand, especially from the left side for Michel Rensen, who tends to use it offensively, and Federico Bergoglio, who really has a very superb defensive system. Typically parries in crone with the thumb grip, and then he will cut around to one side or the other when he sees the opening with either a right or a left sphere.
So last year here in DLC, that was the first time these two fighters met. Federico was just training, coming back to longsword for over a year. And Michel, of course, steadily growing for the past 4 years in longsword.
So Federico took that, and then he took it again at Swordfish in November, and now here they are for the third time in the Netherlands again, the Dutch Lions Cup. Okay.
And indeed, Michel taking his trial offensively.
1 point play.
And taking the first point.
Yeah, it looked like it landed on the right arm. Trumpets there. Looked like at least two of those landed.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
even
think Michel
three.
was speeding up last year.
1 point play.
So, right, so it was a sphere, but it landed on the arm. Another right sphere landing to the arm.
He tried to
Federico
make a failure on the left side first.
Right.
And then
Feint.
And he took it back on the...
You'll see that Michel, he makes these very tight body feints. He's in right ox.
Oh, Federico tried to get his point in. I think Michel will not let this happen again.
No. I think Michel is hungry. He doesn't want to let that happen again.
I think he's a Dutch lion now.
Right, but the interesting thing is Michel is actually landing multiple hits. I saw...
Oh, Federico, very quick point in.
Oh, close to
The bird flying into the audience. And Federico does a very last step down. Michel Ranson ends up on top of both punches and 2 or 3 times in the face.
And there was a glove that flew off into the crowd. Very nice.
Does the guard get to keep it? Is the question. Just like baseball.
So we are at 3-1 in favor of Michel Ranson. That kind of throw has got to take it out of you. Going down with a guy as big as Federico Dall'Olio landing on top of you, it adds a lot of force to that fall. That'll take the steam out of you. We'll see if it doubled sphere. It looks like the second one hit.
A little bit slower now.
Yeah, that was a left and then a right sphere. One of those hit on the arm. I think it was the right one that hit by Michel Ranson.
So that makes it 4-1 for Michel.
Oh, that looked like a thrust. Followed by an effort blow sphere. Dall'Olio losing his blade.
1 point play.
1 point.
And there's a protest on the side of Michel. So Arto as the coach, Arto Fama coaching Michel Ranson.
So the judge going over to ask the opinion of the other fighter before conferring with the judges. Now that was interesting. Michel closes in. He's taking the initiative. What Federico will do is he will close into distance and dare you to attack him. And I've seen him do this all day. He will close into your distance, and his defensive system is so good that he can shut down a lot of these cuts that come out.
True.
He'll walk into distance, dare you to attack him, parry, and then riposte. And once he does that to you 2 or 3 times and scores, it breaks your spirit. That doesn't work with Michel Ranson, though, because his feints are so good and so tight and so convincing that it draws Federico to make that parry too wide, and then he cuts around to the other side with that sphere. And we've seen that. There were at least 2 exchanges where I thought I saw Michel Ranson hit 3 times. Now, there's no provision in this rule set for actual multiple strikes.
Yeah.
But if there were, I could see Michel Ranson actually scoring multiple times, which is something you see very rarely, even twice, and to see it 3 times is pretty amazing. There was one exchange; it looked like it was a left sphere, then a right sphere, and then he dropped down and he hit the thigh and came up again. Very impressive fighting by Ranson.
Not clear yet. So the judges protest denied.
The protest was denied by Ranson's side. I think they were talking about the location of the target, probably. So we are at 5-1. Ranson commanding lead over Dall'Olio. It looked like there was a sphere that came in with Dall'Olio. I think
Dall'Olio is changing tactics now, and he's going more for the offensive.
I think, Dall'Olio has to move on the defensive now. I think that was at Sarah. I think he hit him on the head, but only one judge saw that. Oh! A parry and a right sphere to the body by Ranson, I saw.
Michel getting in very close to block his, to take his blade up and block his Federico's blade.
Blow and after blow. Last exchange.
Last exchange in the first round. Yeah, very nice.
That looked like blow and after blow to me. Fight left swab by Ranson, which looked like it hit, but after blow.
Oh, 1 point blue.
Ranson hit. Interesting. I thought I saw an after blow there. The judges didn't see it, but so it was a sphere to the arm by Michel Ranson.
So we
who
enter
now
into the
has-
1 minute break,
Right.
and the score stands at 6-1 for Michel Rensen.
This is a very big turnaround because he has never had this commanding of a lead against Dall'Olio. Now, in the past 2 times they fought, it was seesaw. It went back and forth. It was very close. But this is really a commanding lead by Rensen, and that's interesting because, frankly, I'll be honest. I think Rensen fought better last year. I watched him last year and was very impressed. I was not impressed by his performance earlier today, and the opposite was true of Dall'Olio. I was more
Very
impressed
impressed,
this year than I was last year with him. But what's interesting is now that we're in the finals, that has completely switched. Dall'Olio seems to have run out of steam. His defensive tactics are just not holding up against Rensen's steamroller offense and those really tight and threatening feints that are convincing.
It's the Zwaard attack helicopter, this one.
Yeah.
Fight is ready.
So second round, starting at 6-1 in favor of Rensen.
Let's see if Federico knows how to turn the tide.
Oh, okay. We see 2 Zwaard from Rensen. 1 high, 1 low, striking from ox to flug. I thought I saw it.
Clear exchange.
The judges were confused. I thought it was pretty clear.
It was
but-
pretty clear, yeah.
Oh! Nice
trying to get
ox
his point in.
thrust
Judges.
on a tempo by
But
Dall'Olio.
Michel got in a...
But did it land? It may have actually missed.
Unclear exchange.
Unclear exchange. I thought I saw an ox thrust by Dall'Olio that narrowly missed, followed by a blow that hit. Hit on the leg by Dall'Olio. I don't think Rensen reached him in time with an
Nope.
afterblow. Just out of
He
range.
tried to sprint back, but
So
didn't reach.
Dall'Olio is a little desperate now. 6-2 now. Feint, cut, double
Feint
tear.
cut.
Looked
Under
like
the
both of
arms.
those landed to me, to the
Yep.
arms.
1 point blue.
Yep. I think
1
both
point
of
blue.
those landed to the arms by Rensen.
We continue. Fence.
7-2. Rensen, commanding lead now. So, Dall'Olio going on the offensive
Offensive
command,
side.
but parried
trying to do the
parried
zigzag.
and double Zwaard riposte by Rensen.
2 points blue. After blow for red. 0 points
Okay,
blue.
blow after blow.
Fence.
0 points that negates.
I'm not sure I agree with that call, but there it is. That was a thrust that looked like it was
By
parried
Federico.
and then a double Zwaard by Rensen.
Yep.
1 point blue. After blow for red. 0 points blue.
All right.
Again, the afterblow, so that negates 0 points. Federico
So-
tried to get his offensive Zwaard in, and
I
he
think-
succeeded.
I think Dall'Olio had that one.
Yeah.
But I think there was an afterblow
Unclear
by.
exchange.
I think there
That
was
was
an afterblow. by
mainly
Rensen.
where the location was.
Yeah. So at this point, that was a left
Double
Zwaard
Zwaard.
by Rensen. Looked like it hit on the head of Dall'Olio. The judges saw an arm hit at one point. We're now at 8-2. I don't think Dall'Olio can
Can
pull this out
recover
of
from
the
this
hat.
one.
It looked like an Unterhau to the body by Dall'Olio. I thought that landed.
Yeah.
1 point red.
2 judges saw it land. It landed.
Yep.
Final exchange.
And it's the final exchange.
So we are at 8-3, final exchange. Rensen has got this in the bag.
But they still fight fiercely for the last points.
Thrust, Schnitt by Dall'Olio, but parried
Good cover.
by Rensen. Oh! Right of the leg, may have landed flat, I'm not sure. But what for that?
The rules have changed. The times have changed.
Rules have changed. The third time is the charm. What a fantastic
After
day
1
for
year.
Michel Rensen. And Federico Dall'Olio clearly ran out of steam along the way there. And Rensen was hungry. He was not going to let that happen for a third time.
The prize ceremony.
Fantastic.
5 minutes.
So in 5 minutes, we will have a
prize
ceremony.
ceremony.
Now let's talk a little bit about the prizes. Now the first thing is there is a technical award.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I think is really great about this tournament, this event, is that they have a really substantial technical award for the best technical fighter. Last year, it was a prototype of the Pro Gauntlet, which has yet to be delivered, but it's in the mail. This year, the prize is equally impressive, and it is a sharp sword by Mateusz Solowski of Poland. This man is an amazing smith. His leatherwork is hand-stitched. He does it himself. His swords are absolutely beautiful. It has an integral rain guard.
I must say, he contacted us as a fan of the tournament. He saw the website and he saw some fights played online, and he was a fan of the tournament. He said, "I want to sponsor this."
That is amazing.
And we were like, "Okay, well, your swords are in a very high class."
This is a sword that is worth somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,600 euros, I think, is the price. It looks like it's worth more than that. Frankly, it is absolutely beautiful. And then for the longsword, the longsword tournament.
Yeah, the open longsword tournament.
There is a longsword that has the quillins that are in the shape of the lions.
Of the lions,
that's really quite nice.
Peter Regenia delivered for the second year.
Is there one of those? Is that for both the men and the women's? Or
no, that's for the open longsword.
And for the women's longsword,
for the women's longsword, we have. Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. We have also a very nice prize package. We have some books. We have some nice jewelry from Black Armory. We have a mask and a mask cover. We have some gloves from Gallardoni. For the women, we have a fencing jacket from Nijman Fencing.
Oh, that's great. That's quite nice. So the bottom line is all kinds of goodies are going to be handed out in about 5 minutes. We'll bring the winners out onto the floor. So again, to review the bidding, for the women's longsword, Runa Magnussen of the Netherlands, winning gold. Carla Hooverman of Germany, winning silver. And the bronze is Diana Matis of Kriffon, also from Germany. And for the men's longsword, the open longsword, it is finally, third time's the charm, Michelle Rensen taking gold. And Federico Del Olio, again up here for the third time, having to make do with silver this time.
Yep.
But no mean feat, that.
No.
And then finally, it's Thomas Couturier, the master of the arm cut and afterblow parry from France, taking the bronze. And then, shall I go ahead and announce I'll go ahead and announce the winner of the technical award.
Shall we?
We may as well, because I'm going to have to award that prize in a minute. But I can tell for those of us
who are going to keep it a secret for everybody.
The crowd
here,
here does not know, but for those of you listening to the live stream, Arto Fama is the winner of the technical award for this year's Dutch Lions Cup. He really worked marvels. It's a shame. It was really an upset in the eliminations that David Gaimans of Utrecht, also of Zwaard&Steen, beat Arto Fama, which is a big feather in his cap. He's a very technical fencer himself, but Arto is such a lion in the ring. That was a really big upset and quite a surprise for me, because the way Arto was fighting in the pools was absolutely amazing. I saw him fight one fighter from Poland. I saw him disarm him 3 times in a row.
Yep.
And the third time when he disarmed him, he pulled the sword out of his hands, ended up in a half sword guard, and delivered a half sword thrust in the very next tempo that landed in his belly. Just amazing feats by Arto. Krump after Krump, Zwaard after Zwaard. Arto Fama is sort of the guy who patented the helicopter Zwaard, where you come in with the double, triple, or even quadruple Zwaardhaal. Really an amazing guy. We saw him for the first time in 2010, showing up at a tournament in Germany, and everyone marveled at his Zwaardhaal there, because at the time he was the only guy who was doing that. It's pretty common now, but it is really one of his signature moves. But he's this guy. I can't say enough about him, and I have to say there were things he did today that gave me goosebumps. I mean, he pulled off technical moves, and I had goosebumps start at the back of my neck and go down my arms all the way down to my ankles.
That's wonderful to hear.
It really was good and well deserved by Arto Fama. But there were some other people too. There were a bunch of guys, and just to mention too, Martin Fabian of Slovakia, fantastic fighter, did some really nice moves. Likewise, Federico Del Olio, very technical fencing as well.
Yeah.
I could give you a list of about 6 others. I'll put that online later, but well-deserved kudos by all of them. And Arto Fama, though, standing head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of technical fencing today.
Yeah, and he's taking on the beautiful sword as well. So, Matt, thank you for doing this first live stream here on DLC.
Well, thanks for having me. I was here last year. I really enjoyed the event. I was really impressed by how technical it was. And this year, it's on a par. I have to say, I think maybe some of the fencing was a little more technical last year, in the pools at least. But 2 of the heavy hitters on that, last year's technical award winner, Jan Chris Plagemars, unfortunately couldn't make it today.
Nope.
And there was another young guy named Sasha de Wint, who was the second prize technical winner last year. He didn't make it either.
No.
So that's unfortunate, but still excellent technical fencing. I think the overall level of fencing in general, in terms of competitiveness, is really actually higher this year. Harder crowd.
It's ferociously.
It's from people from a lot more countries this year. Hungarians, Czechs, Slovaks,
Polish guy.
French, Polish, Finns,
Danes.
Yeah, quite. I know that's not a complete list. There are people from all over.
Yeah, we have Belgium, France. We have Belgium. Even a Hungarian came over.
Yeah, and quite some heavy hitters. Hitters in the good sense, of meaning, people who are well respected on their national fencing scene. I know the fencers who are here today from Belgium are some of the best we have.
Yannick de Smet.
So yeah,
really good technical fencer as well.
And Jim Burke, for sure. Martin van der Auwera, very good fencer.
We can talk about this for hours.
All right.
But we have to do the prize ceremony. I think it's still being broadcast live, but we have to go onto the floor and hand out some nice prizes.
So we will stop talking, and essentially you'll get to see what's happening. You'll get to see the prizes as they're handed out, but I believe this will end our commentary.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, and I am Matt Gallus, and this is Cor Cronenberg, signing off.
Signing off. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start the prize ceremony, so please take a seat at the tribune.
Natuurlijk allemaal mensen hier zitten en die ook naast je. Kan. Ja, ja. Niet aan je hoek, hè.
Ladies and gentlemen, opening the prize ceremony, please give him a big hand, Cor Cronenberg. And Cor doesn't want to use a mic. Do you?
Long day. It was the long term I've run. We've been on the floor more than 12 hours now. So
gewoon die kant op richten.
Zo?
Beter.
Tournaments like these are organized for the community, but also by the community. Which means I'd like to thank a lot of people who helped organize this tournament. And most of them are located over there. Yeah. You people. First of all, I want to thank our table crew, who've been very diligently writing everything down, signing everything, making the scores correct, making the ribbons on the correct person every time. So first of all, give it up for our table crew. Welcoming you this morning and providing you with all the information. We have a very nice hospitality team. So the people handing you the ribbons and your crosses and your dinner vouchers and everything. So please give it up for our hospitality team. And then our judging crew. Last year we started out, well, it was the first time, and we wanted to do a little joke. And the joke landed quite well, and it started the tradition, which is shit because then you have to find something new every year. So last year we made a nice patch for our judges saying order of the flag gives you +5 on authority, so for all the nerds here. So we have to top that this year, and this year we have again made a nice badge, but this time we used Judge Greg. So this will be given to all our judges. First off, as you can, another big round of applause for people judging you all day. Give it up for our judging team. Then, leading our judging team, we had 5 referees, and we like to make it an international tournament, so we flew in 3 of the referees from Sweden. Also, our 2 house referees from Zwaard&Steen, I would like to thank, and we made a very nice plaque for them. You can't see it, but it says, Untitled Chapter 2017 referee team. Thanks for sticking with us. Now, we also have 2 technical judges. Like you, yeah, for the technical award. Referee, sorry, technical referee. These 2, let's say, dinosaurs of Nima. Well, 1 at least. You will be. They were, apart from the referees that were on the floor, they were silently observing me from the side, because we have a very nice technical award we want to present the best technical fighters. And they were jotting down notes and everything on their fighting styles. And I want to thank those referees as well, with the Dutch Line 2017 referee team, technically our best referees. Two more people to thank, because this whole day was run not by me, because I was one of the fighters. I was one of you guys. I was here swinging swords and hitting people in the face. The whole tournament, timetable, all the administration was overseen by 2 tournament managers. Give it up for Ruud Heilweiler and Mark Vrienden. I came with this whole stupid idea and I thought I had to do everything myself because that's the kind of guy I am. So I worked myself into the pleuris. This year people thought it wise to have a project manager as well who could break me and steer me a little bit in the right direction and save myself from myself. So this year we had another project manager on board and I want to give you, ask you to give him a big hand because he's the guy sending all the emails. Till late night cutting papers and making everything ready. And because we have a lot of nice prizes sponsored, one of the sponsor prizes, and he also arranged the sponsors, so partly on prizes are his responsibility, so he's also in charge. One of the prizes we got from Black Armory was this very nice silver Taylor pin. And when he saw this, he was like, ooh, but I have to give it away. So I asked my friends at Black Armory if they had another one. So please give it up for Ethan Zwaard. This concludes me thanking everybody. Niels will take over then. As the presenter we have here. And we will go to the prize ceremony for all the winners. So, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to give away some fabulous prizes. And we're going to start with the best newcomer. He's been fighting only for a year, but he made it all the way through 2 elimination rounds. His prize is going to be handed to him, representing the judges by Bas de Tuskus and Linda Simpson. Please give me a big hand. The best newcomer, Bob Bunker! Every prize winner today will be handed out a t-shirt and a medallion, but also some little knickknacks just for fun. Brought to you by our sponsors. Bob, you're going home with a brand new mask with overlay from Category. You get to pick out one book from the book list of Zwaard&Steen. Please give me a big hand. Our best newcomer, ladies and gentlemen, all our prizes are brought to you by our sponsors, and all our sponsors, the links are on the site from DLC, so if you want to know where the prizes came from and, I want one, how can I buy it? Go to the DLC site, press the links. Well, let's go to the 3rd prize for the ladies' tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the referees, Judy van Brugge, and the table crew, Evelyn van Abelen, they'll be handing out the prizes. For 3rd place, Diana Mattis. Diana, you will get, I'm a little bit jealous actually, because you're getting really good prizes. You get one voucher from the night shop for £50. Some fencing socks from Spence, 20% discount for new fencing, and of course, a shirt and a medallion. Please give her a big hand. Yeah. out the second prize for the ladies are Gerald Nieborg, representing the referees, and representing the tournament manager, Mark Trinis. The second place in the ladies' tournament is for Carla Hoeverman. For you, we have a voucher for 50 euros for PBT, fencing socks from Spes, 20% discount from Neiman Fencing, and a silver pendant from Black Armory. Our second place, Carla Hoeverman. And handing out the first place, representing the referees, Jasper Christiansen, and representing the entire organization, he is representing the Alpha and the Omega today, Ethan Denver. Really handing out the prizes for first place in the ladies' tournament. Please give her a big hand, Runa Magnussen. Runa, your prize. I think you're going to need some help carrying all the prizes because you are going home with a pair of sparring gloves, special sparring gloves, $100 voucher for Destroyer Mods, and a brand new fencing jacket from Neiman Fencing. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to hand out the prizes for the Open tournament. We're going to start with the 8th till 4th place. The prizes are going to be handed out representing the graphics and the web. Robert Krijveld and Sandra Belde. Please come to the stage. David Grijmas, Steve Sigmans, Oscar Tamors, Mark Wilkie, and Thomas Lobo. Especially for you, we have a t-shirt from Shirt Hall. We're going to continue to the 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd place. Handing out the prize for 3rd place in the Open tournament are representing the logistics behind me, Dirk Schneider and Sander van Eyck. Please give a big hand for 3rd place in the Open tournament for the Dutch Lion Cup, Thomas Couturier. The 3rd prize consists of a voucher for £50 from the Night Shop, a brand new pair of fencing socks from Spes, 20% discount on Neiman Fencing, and a very special silver fader pin from Black Armory. Ladies and gentlemen, handing out the prizes for 2nd place, representing the referees, Britt and way too difficult behind me. How do I say it? Zoikers, oh, that's not so bad. Ruud Zoikers and Ruud Herrewijn. Give a big hand. Our second place, Federico Bayoyo. The second place prize consists out of a €50 voucher check from PBT, brand new socks from Spes, 20% discount from Neiman, and a brand new pair of Gadget gloves. And the other prize for the first place will be representing the referees, Carl Lieber, and representing the organization, Cor Kronenberg. Please give a big hand. Our first place winner, Mr. Benson. Your prize consists of a $100 voucher for Destroyer Masks, a very special mask overlay from Spes, and two very special prizes. One prize is a special made sword by Regenier, the Lion Sword. Wait a minute, get back. We're not done yet. Because you also get a very special pair of the Pro Gauntlets handed out by Martin Kamphuis. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two more prizes to give away. The first prize will be given away representing the judges, Melle Gerritsen and Mark Diersen, and it's a prize especially for sportsmanship. The referees have been watching which fighter they thought was sporty enough, and they thought unanimously that Martin Fabian deserves this prize. Please give a big hand. Martin Fabian! The prize for sportsmanship consists of a medal, of course, but also a £50 voucher for the night show, one book from the list of Zwaard&Steen, and a specially engraved doucette from Purple Heart Armory. Martin Fabian. And giving away the prize for Best Technical Fighter are Alwyn Goodhouse and Matt Gallis. As Cor already said, they've been scribbling about everybody watching their fighting styles. And the best fighter, the best technical fighter today is Arto Fama. The prize for Best Technical Fighter consists of course, the medal and the t-shirt, but also one book from the list of Zwaard&Steen and a very special, very sharp farming sword from Mateusz Sulowski. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Dutch Lion Cup 2017. We would like to thank you for your attention, thank you for your patience, because man, what a long day. I'm almost out of English, so please give everybody a very big hand. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye, see you next year.